TIFU by making almost my entire school think I'm special needs. The beginning of this story takes place last year. I, 15M, was learning to identify different pine, spruce, and fir trees where I live, so I knew what was edible, since I love foraging. The morning this story takes place, I forgot to take my homemade wake-up pills, which if I don't take I get drowsy and fall asleep in class. Plus I didn't sleep the night before. While I was reading a website at school, it said the female cones of the pitch pine tree were edible. Because of how tired I was, I didn't read that only the young cones are meant to be eaten. So, I went outside, grabbed the biggest cone on the tree, and began trying to munch on it. In all of this, my peanut-sized brain decided I would go inside the school while munching on a pine cone. I didn't clue in that the quiet kid walking down the hallway dressed like a homeless guy with his hoodie up and biting a pine cone could look weird. After about 5 minutes of trying to chew on it, I threw it out and went back on the website, where I found the cones are only edible when young, and when they get hard they are still edible, but shouldn't be eaten. I felt embarrassed by how idiotic I had been, but shrugged it off and went to class. The next day when I walked into my first period class, the girl I had a crush on gestured for me to sit next to her. I thought I was dreaming and went to sit next to her. Normally she was loud and confident when she talked, but this time she seemed cautious and sensitive when she spoke. For about a year people kept doing this. They were sensitive, cautious, and would talk to me for a few minutes and then make some excuse to leave. Usually a fake phone call. And I just shrugged it off until today I got talking with a girl I knew from elementary school. And we went to different high schools. While talking with her, she brought up the pinecone incident. I didn't think she would know about it since it had been over a year since it happened. I explained what I did wrong, and I thought it would be fine, until she told me that there was a rumor going around town that I was disabled. So now it all makes sense. Everyone was being sensitive and cautious when they spoke to me, and my crush inviting me to sit next to her. It was all because they thought I had a disability. So now, my entire school and possible town thinks I'm disabled, which is made even worse because I'm also the weird spider and snake kid. I brought a harvestman to my science class, and caught a garter snake in the soccer field. Dear, I accidentally made my entire school and possibly part of my town think I was disabled, because I read a foraging website wrong and tried to eat a pinecone at school. To top it all off, I'm also the quiet kid, and weird spider and snake kid. Eating a pinecone? That's nuts. Pine nuts. Very good. Hey man, with peace and love. Based on this post and your other posts, I would talk to your school or caregivers about exploring an autism (ASD) diagnosis. This post and the challenges you describe in your other posts seem indicative of an autistic spectrum disorder. Bro out here trying to convince us he's not special when he eats pine cones and custom makes his own homebrew medication. Unironically, embrace it. Embrace your autism superpowers. I wish I did when I was younger. I forgot to take my homemade wake-up pills, which if I don't take I get drowsy and fall asleep in class. Please do share the recipe. Are you 100% sure you aren't special needs? Not realizing at 15 that walking into school chewing on a pinecone might be a little weird? Well, I would just ask your doctor to test you to double-check. Son. At least you didn't get bullied. Buddy, I think you are special needs. It sounds like you might have autism or ADHD. Not going to speculate, but these behaviors and the way people treat you are indicative of something lol. Coming from someone who is confirmed ND. You just have a special need for pine cones. Does your crush have a date for the school dance though? You should hurry up and ask her. When you have an opportunity to share some kind of project or report in front of a class, make it about the most badass thing you can legitimately express enthusiasm for. Throw in 2 large words and a decent joke or 2, and blow everyone's mind that you're actually an intelligent human being with a calm and collected sense of humor who isn't afraid to be unique. Your 180 will become a beacon of awesomeness. Then you can go off the rails and it'll be cool. No one has mentioned yet not all are edible. Most pine trees are completely edible with the exception of lodgepole, Norfolk, ponderosa, and yew, which are quite toxic. https www.gardeningnowhow.com/ornamental/trees/pine/pineconesedible.htm. I think you're just quirky and find interest in some not-so-common subjects. Don't understand the special needs or autism comments just because you're focused on different interests. It's awesome to see you like learning and experimenting. Eating a pine cone is a little weird because I DK about foraging, but would it be that weird if you were eating some mushroom you foraged? Please don't eat random mushrooms. They're dangerous. Damn, that's rough. Maybe next time stick to eating actual food instead of pine cones. And maybe lay off the spiders and snakes too. Just a thought. I'm autistic too bro, just embrace it. Homemade wake-up pills. Yeah, gonna call cap right here folks. You gotta be a little special to just eat random pine cones of any kind. So you're at least kinda right. Sorry, I'm with the school on this one. Dude, you have to share your homemade wake-up pills recipe. I'm always falling asleep and coffee doesn't work for me, loudly crying. Garter snakes are so neat. If they can't appreciate that, it's their loss. Signed, the guy with 3 toads, a tree frog, and 2 aquariums of isopods. Aw, that's a shame, but you can totally turn it around in your favor. I would make a funny shirt that jokes about the idea that people would jump to that conclusion. I eat pine cones, not ASS or something more high school appropriate. Just know, once high school is over you won't even remember why you cared.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.